What if we could nuke enemies around and still try to survive? That is today's build's goal. I'll be sharing my Nukinox build, talking a lot about the frame and everything like that. It's gonna take a lot of time. If you're looking for something specific, make sure to check the timestamps. Gonna talk about the frame, the build, how the gameplay goes, how to fix some problems, and let's go. First, I'm gonna show you guys the build, just so you have an idea of what it is. Casting speed, ability strength, equilibrium on the shards, and the build itself. Nukinox is the day and night frame. Day form, focused on damage. Night form, focusing on defense. Day form can buff allies with the third ability, nuke with the fourth ability, the second ability I subsumed off. The night form, third ability, reduces enemy damage, fourth ability, restore shield when you kill enemies that are within the fourth ability range, and stores up, I can say health, for healing when you release the ability. And yeah, the thing is, it is a really old frame. It's a very, very old frame. This thing would really love to get some TLC, to get tweaked a bit for it to be a bit better. But yeah, what are the problems? Day form is a glass cannon, but to make it really be cannon and nuke everything, we need to deal with enemy armor. That's where it struggles, and that's why Terrify is subsumed into the build. For the night form, it is our best way to survive, but it's still not as reliable because we're gonna be having to use rolling guards, constantly killing enemies, and arcane ages to survive. That's pretty much it. About how the build goes, the main gameplay and how to do it is we want to be on night form, have our mend active, and then we're gonna be spreading love and care for everyone, mainly killing everyone and dealing as much damage as possible, using Terrify also as a form to CC and survive, because it's not really easy. It's a lot of damage everywhere. In the meantime, we're going to be charging our mend. When we have it charged, we are going to switch to our day form and just nuke everything. That is how I plan this thing to work. Terrify is good for CC. We also have our companion for CC and some more survivability. The weapons are really up to you. I would really recommend something that can delete enemies to build up your maim as fast as possible. And that's how it goes. 6 million damage, million heals built in. Then we switch forms. We're gonna use our Pacify and Provoke. And then we're gonna get in the middle of everyone. Bam. Nuke. That's how it goes. It is a very specific build, and we do need the Pacify and Provoke to be active to actually strip enemies. Otherwise, it's just not going to strip. We're going to need multiple casts, or 2. Generally 2. But it's that. It is usable, and really Terrify is the cherry on the top, because it gives you armor strip, gives you survivability because of the CC it provides, so it's really, really, really good. Also the companion is just so useful. Here I have Lex Prime for deleting enemies, and yeah. That's how it's going. So let me just see if I have enough damage to nuke everyone again. Probably do. Yep. That's how it works. How do we achieve everything? For our survivability, we have Arcane Ages, Rolling Guards, and I think that's pretty much it. That's how maim is gonna mend the maim is gonna give us 30 shields per kill on a night form. That's how we use survive. Every bit of shields that we have and that we actually take damage is another chance to proc Arcane Ages. So that's gonna be one of the things that we're gonna be relying on. Other than that, we have a lot of range, because range is good. Also your damage from the day form reduces as it's kind of like a fall off. The further the enemy is, the less damage is gonna take when you detonate the thing. To armor strip, we're at 72% armor reduction here. With corrosive projection, we only need to get up to 82%. When we have pacify and provoke active, we're actually gonna be getting 86%, if I'm not wrong, which is enough. Yep. Some duration. Having energy is good. Streamline is also good to have. I just couldn't drop energize. I really wanted to, but I just feel like this frame is too much of a caster. It's really cast intensive. You're going to be using a lot of abilities. The other option is to use steadfast, but steadfast, I'm gonna say that steadfast is better than energize when we have abilities that cost a lot, but they're not channeled abilities. We have a channeled ability here, so might not be the best thing to use that. Still, it is an option. Energy transfer, we need this augment to be switching between the forms and keep our charges. I think that's it for the build. The shards, the strength shards are for us to just get the threshold for Terrify. We could even work with that with a without one of these, if I'm not wrong, but yeah. Other than that, casting speed is really important. This thing really has some long animations, and you're gonna need to work with casting speed. It's just a must. This shard is, I think you can probably trade for something else. I got this one in because I wanted to get rid of Energize, but I just couldn't. But yeah, I wanted to put 3 Tau Forged here because then I could maybe not really need the Pacify and Provoke to armor strip, but I don't have any more Tau Forged red shards. For weapons, I would recommend stuff that can just delete everything. I had the Cedo for priming just to kind of show the amount of damage you can get with this thing, which is kind of insane, actually. Of course, priming is something. We already had a trigger. So get this. Just summon everyone again. Get our Cedo prime. We're probably not going to be even able to see the... Yeah. Couple million damage, which is always good. But you could use something like the Torrid and Karn, or any weapon that can deal massive amounts of damage or kill a lot of enemies in a short amount of time. I used my secondary to nuke because the Lex Prime is just so good. Nami solo placeholder. That's it. Focus. You could even consider using something else, you know. You could try and use Vazarin to just group enemies for your nuke, can be an option, but with the amount of range that we have, I don't think that's necessary. Or just to stay alive, because a protective sling. Mighty doesn't have the physical damage, so it is another possibility. Or that is an operator damage. No, yeah, that I think that should work with the fourth ability. For the companion, it is a kind of a specific build. We want Guardian, Duplex Bond, Mystic Bond. All of those are gonna complement or survival. They're just gonna be helping. Yeah, I think that's about it. That's the main thing about the build, how things goes. Activate your and the main. Use the Terrify. There, it's the Sentinel. Putting our shields up. We're gonna be constantly using energy because we have a channeled ability. So we already got enough. Can just do this. Bam. Of course, in the simulacrum, everything is beautiful and stuff, but yeah. You just really have to remember to use Terrify. If not, you're probably gonna die. Ooh, I just pressed too soon. Yep. That's kind of how it goes. I want to finish the video talking a bit more about Nukinox. I would really, really, really love to see this frame to get, you know, just to receive a TLC, you know. I think this frame is kind of hard to work around because you need range. Otherwise, you're effed. Your abilities aren't going anywhere. You're not gonna be getting your damage out there, and you know, just everything like that. I think that might be the main issue with that, because you have to just focus a good portion of your build towards that. Otherwise, it's not gonna work very well. And this is a build focused on pretty much survivals, and I would say in not really endurance in general, because I can't really put disruption in here because Terrify is not gonna affect Demolists. So you still need to, you know, armor strip them manually with Caustic Strike or something like that. Oh, here they're being stripped. Great. I was just testing one of these days and I wasn't getting it to work. It's just kind of how it goes. So yeah, can't really recommend that. But yeah, it's kind of how it goes. I like the build, but I would love this frame to receive some TLC. You know, maybe all it would need would be to make the range, increase the range of the fourth ability, the base range. That would probably be enough. You know, increase their range by a couple meters, and then we wouldn't need to use as many mods for it. That would be already something, or maybe even add the augment for the fourth ability as something like base. That would also be good. You know, just some thoughts, but it's very unlikely that anything will change on the frame. What the one that once was the best frame in the game for just, you know, the low levels exterminate missions, dethroning Amber at some point. There was that very I'm gonna call it a very short time where we had Equinox and the duration didn't affect the drain of channeled abilities. That was the time where Equinox was queen or king. I don't even know. She was queen, but that it's not how it works anymore. It just fell behind by a lot. But yeah, I like the frame. I still gonna be working more around it, but I'm happy with this build. Yeah, let me know what you think about the frame, with the build. Leave in the comments below. Leave it a like, subscribe, and peace.